Tuition is sponsored by Lick Library.
Hi, welcome to Tuition. Welcome to the drum module. My name's Sam Rankin, and our tutor for this module is Graham Fox. Hello, Graham.
Hello.
Right, so we're on 10 now. That's right. So we're pretty much just past the halfway mark, and we have packed in quite a bit of stuff in this module.
Quite a bit of information.
Yeah, I know what I'm asking for my birthday, Mother. After all these years, I'm finally going to get one. So last week we looked at shapes.
Yes.
And the notation is going to be on the screen.
Yes.
And this week, what we're going to do?
Well, we're just going to do a quick recap, partly because I missed one out.
You mean you as a professional?
Sorry, yes, I did.
It's good when they make mistakes.
It was going back. We'll just cover all of them,
okay,
and then I'll show the one that I missed out accidentally.
So this is the notation.
Yes, and then
again, this is going to be on the bottom of the screen.
Then we're going to talk about the 16th note grooves that I mentioned before. So, just the one that I missed out was the E and the and of the beat, which would be left then right. So when we get there, you'll hear it.
Okay.
Okay. So just going through it again, and this is something I really recommend students just getting used to doing warm-ups. You know, before we were doing the shapes, then we went through all the different placements of the bass drum against
That's right,
the snare.
we did, yeah.
So this is just another warm-up that you might consider doing. So again, I'm going to get the hi-hats going in eighth notes and play all the shapes and just go through them. So here we go, from the first one, which is all four. Here we go. 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a...
Woohoo! Flipping out.
Breath now.
I know, yeah. And the look of concentration. Very good. Okay, so practice that at home, guys, with the notation at the bottom of the screen.
Okay, so it doesn't really matter which order you put the groups of 3 or the groups of 2 or the groups of 1, as long as you just cover all of them, because I actually changed the order there just because I was doing it off the top of my head. But as long as you cover all the different basses and you can play them independently of your hi-hat and make sure that you're doing the right hands and all that kind of thing, then that's great.
Cool.
So what we're going to do today, and this is bringing you back into the frame here,
Thank you.
is playing some slow 16th note grooves with the strong hand on the hi-hat playing like this: 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and using the shapes that we've just learned, so that you'll recognise them split between the bass drum and the snare drum. Okay. So these beats are quite hard, right? And
I'm not afraid of anything.
What we're going to do is split them into half bars. Okay. So first of all, obviously, we'll just deal with the first half, beats 1 and 2. All right, so the bass drum is going to go on the 1 and the and the snare drum is going to go on the 2 and the a. And in beats 3 and 4, what we're actually going to do is you can do it two ways. We either leave it completely blank and just count through it, or just keep the hi-hat ticking away, which is just a good way of feeling out the rest of the bar and making sure that you're playing the whole bar, okay? But concentrating on beats 1 and 2. So you can either do it like this: 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and, or 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and.
Okay.
Either way, doesn't matter. We're just focusing, making sure that you can play beats 1 and 2.
Okay.
All right. So 1 and the and on the bass drum, and 2 and on the snare. I think you've got it already, haven't you?
Just do it once more for me.
Okay, so it goes like this: 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and bass, bass, snare, snare. So you can think of it either way. 1 E and or bass, bass, snare, if you're confident on whether you know where the beats are.
Okay. Not quite that confident yet.
Okay, so again, there's different ways of breaking it down. You can either just keep that hi-hat ticking away on beats 3 and 4, take it out and just count through it so that you're feeling the space in beats 3 and 4. If you're still struggling with that, which you weren't, which is good, you can strip it down even more and just take, again, just the hands, right foot, left hand, right foot, and just go through all the different combinations until you've worked on it. So, for example, you'd either just go beats 1 and 2, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and just working on the bass drum on the right hand. Then maybe just the hands together. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4. Again, your choice whether you tick all the way through beats 3 and 4 or just leave them blank. But make sure you count because it just gives you the feeling of playing a bar.
Yeah.
So, next thing to do is if you're still having trouble, one more way that we can break it down, I know it's a lot of different ways of breaking it down, but they're just options for when you're practicing, is maybe just go through adding one note at a time. So for example, we've done it with the fills, didn't we? We just added one note at a time. So we start with the first bass drum and you just get 1 E and 2 E and 3 E, and when you're comfortable add the next one. 1 E and 2 E and then the next one. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and always counting, or going bass, bass, snare, snare. But you have to be really confident that you know where they are if you're going to do it that way.
So, do you do a bit of that thing where you do it and then I do it?
Yeah, but we'll take a bar each. So fill out the other two beats and then you come in. Okay. 3 E and 4 E and bass, bass, snare, snare. 3 E and 4 E and bass, bass, snare. E and 4 E and 3 E and 4 E and bass, bass, snare, snare. You've got it.
Yeah, but I didn't really seem to groove with it. Can we just do it a couple more times so I can get the feel
sure.
of it? Is that okay?
3 E and 4 E and bass, bass, snare, snare. Bass, bass, snare, snare. 3 E and 4 E and bass, bass, snare, snare. 3 E and 4 E and snare. That's it, good. 4 E and bass, bass, snare. 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and
Great. When you play the I'm also, as well as doing all the drums, I'm actually thinking about how I'm holding my sticks. Because it really does make a difference.
Yes.
Things like just bouncing off the hi-hats.
Yeah. I'm
actually doing it a bit too gripping it a little
well, your
bit.
stick's coming away. That's fine. I'm noticing there's you know when you the pinky. Okay. I always talk about tea with the queen.
Yeah.
And I'm guilty of this at times as well, and it's just tension. When you get tense, what happens is your fingers tend to ride away from the stick.
Yeah.
Or they come in and grab the stick too hard. And if you see the whites of your knuckles, so if you're squeezing and you get the whites there, that's no good.
Right, okay.
Nor is just you letting your fingers fly away from the stick. But just control. But I haven't really talked about technique too much because I think for the first 16 lessons, I think the idea is to just to get everyone playing away. But little simple things like that, just making sure that you're relaxed and I know this sounds a bit, I don't know.
Silly
Silly maybe, for want of a better word, but let the stick be an extension of your arm.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you were playing it with your hand, you wouldn't go like that. So you'd, tap it.
Yeah.
It's your friend. That's
It's your
treat
mate.
it like your friend. Don't slap it. But don't. I mean, we're not looking
Hi-hat
for.
is your friend.
We're not looking for tappers though. You want someone that hits it well.
Yeah, I'm just. The more I'm playing it, the more I'm actually starting to hear a good tone
Yeah.
and a bad one, because
Yeah.
obviously the strength of my grip.
Yeah.
And when I'm stressed or when I'm kind of concentrating a lot on actually
It
playing
sounds
it,
tight.
it does, and
Yeah.
it doesn't sound. But it might be on the beat.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't. So that's one of the things,
Yeah.
Well, we're actually going to go to a break in a minute. So can we just do that a couple more times
Exactly,
before we
yeah,
do
sure
that?
enough. Okay. 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. That's the other half.
Getting coffee.
1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a.
Brilliant. Okay, so what are we going to do after the break, quickly?
Finish it off as we just did. I was just introducing the second half.
Oh.
And we'll learn that and play the whole beat.
Great stuff. So basically, practice that little bit just before the break, because we're going to extend it afterwards. And then, gosh, I don't know about you, but my muscles are getting massive from this. I was a bit worried about that, having great big muscles. But anyway, we'll see you after the break. Thank you very much, Graham.
Pleasure.
Pleasure as always. And I'm just going to play out a little bit.
Tuition is sponsored by Lick Library. Tuition is sponsored by Lick Library.
See, that's all I've just done, about 10 minutes of that. But I'm getting better, and as I said before, I'm actually listening now to the sound that my hi-hat is making.
And looking a bit more relaxed as well. At
That
the
was
same
I?
time, yes.
Not like that. So, let's continue.
Second half. Okay, so we're thinking about beats 3 and 4. 1 and 2 will just be ticking on the hi-hat. So you'll get 1 E and 2 E and the second half starts here.
Okay.
Okay, so beat 3 will be E on the snare and on the bass. So you get 3 E and then
3
just
E and
With which hand? Exactly. And then beat 4 is just a snare. Okay, so you'll notice that beats 2 and 4 still have the main snare just going 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E, and what we're doing is just adding some extra notes, extra colour around
so
it.
it goes 3 3E and
Other way around. 3E and 4E and
3E and 3.
So you get 3 snare bass, 4E and 4E and then when you put them together with the hi-hat, you'll get 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E.
Could you know what?
And,
Why? I don't know what's going on. Okay, concentrate.
slow it down just a touch.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll play. In fact, all I'd like
That's
you
my
to do
stress face again.
is concentrate on beats 3 and 4, and I'll tick for beats 1 and 2. So you're really just focusing on beats 3 and 4. Okay. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and try and add the hi-hat. 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and that's
Once
it.
more.
And 2E and 3E and 4E and great. Okay, that's each half done. Okay. Now, seeing as you've just learnt the second half, I'll play the first half. You play the second half, and then we'll swap round. So you play the first half, and I
Should
play
we do
the
it a couple of
second half.
times?
Yeah, round and round. So we're effectively becoming one drummer together. Okay.
Effectively.
Yes. Now, if you want to keep your hi-hat ticking away all the way through, that's fine. I'm going to drop out, but you keep it going if you like. Okay? I'll start. 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E.
That's it.
And E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E
I
and
can't get it.
okay. Don't worry. This is what every student goes through. You get these moments where it's just, okay, stress. And the worst thing that you can do is get stressed about it.
Look at me. I don't think I've ever been this stressed in my life.
Because it doesn't help, does it? It really, I mean, obviously you get frustrated with yourself, and then the more and more you think about it, it just gets worse and worse and worse. So strip it back down again, okay? We'll build it up one note at a time, but I think it might be better for you to just go from the beginning, and we'll build it up one note at a time.
I was going to say, it confuses me when I put the hi-hat on it. So if I could just do the bass and the snare to start with.
Okay.
And then add in the hi-hat.
Fine. So the whole pattern, I'll play it to you. But what I'd like to do is try building it up from just one note at a time.
Fine, brilliant.
Okay,
Perfect.
so the whole pattern is this. Bass, bass, snare, 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 bass, snare. Bass, bass, snare, 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 bass, snare. Okay, now what we're going to do, build it up one at a time with this going all the way through. So every time I add a note, the next bar I'd like you to add it in as well.
Okay.
And until I add another note, we just keep going round that loop and just get comfortable with it. Okay, so the first one will just be bass on beat 1. Okay, I'll play it once and then you join in. And then as you hear the next note come in, you can add it as well. Okay, 3E and 4E and bass. 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a bass. 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a bass. 2 E and a 3 E. So it's just a one bass drum, bass. 2, 3, 4 E and a bass. Okay, next note, 2 bass drums, 4 E and a bass, bass. And again, one more time, bass, bass. Good. Now put the snare drum in on beat 2, so you get this. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a snare on the out of 2 as well. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and on the E of 3. Here we go. Bass, bass, snare, snare, snare. That's hard. Bass, bass, snare, snare, snare. Good. Next bass drum. Bass, bass, snare, 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 bass. 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 Good. Bass, bass, snare, 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 bass, snare. 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 And she's got it. Nearly. Snare, bass, snare. Relax. Okay, and what happens when you get to that point and you've been doing it and then it starts to go wrong? Take a few steps back and remove a few notes, get comfortable. What you shouldn't do is you shouldn't add notes until you're absolutely rock solid on what you had before. And if it starts to go wrong, just take a few steps back. But you just about got it.
I know I did, and that's why I'm so because I've just about got there and then I just messed it all up at the end. Okay, once more.
Yes. 3 E and a 4 E and a bass, bass, snare, 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 bass, snare, bass, bass, snare, 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 bass, snare. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Great.
Thank goodness for that. I'm starting to think I should just take the walk of shame outside.
That's great, you know. These things are hard. I mean, we're pushing on now to just recognising loads of different shapes and trying to get them all
my head
happening.
is slightly
hurting, maybe.
Yeah.
But again,
with this much
slow practice. You know, I wouldn't like to see anyone trying to attempt it at this kind of like.
Yeah, right.
Because it's just never going to happen, you know. You've got to take it slowly and break it down and build it back up again.
There's no way that you're going to get to that speed until you've really cracked it,
worked on it
in here, and
absolutely.
You can change it around. And
Absolutely.
everything. That was brilliant. Goodness me. So can we just do that a couple more times?
Okay, indeed.
And then we'll quickly say what we're going to do next module because we're nearly over in time now.
Okay.
Actually.
One bar each. Shall we try?
Yeah.
3 E and I will start. Good. Mistakes are good.
Last time, yes, I've done it. Right. I'm very happy. I've done it. I've cracked it. Graham Fox, play us out, babe.
Okay.
See you soon.
Tuition is sponsored by Lick Library.